Welcome to Sportpen. Forget the usual sports chatter. Today we're strapping in for a real deep dive. We're looking at the making of a monument. The San Antonio Spurs of the 2000s. We're not just tallying up rings here. We're dissecting the key moments, the sheer willpower and those unforgettable plays that really forged their legendary status. What truly separates a good team from a dynasty. That's kind of our mission today.
Exactly. We're peeling back the layers, trying to understand the essential ingredients that allowed the Spurs to not just win championships, but to, well, sustain that dominance.
Yeah.
Especially in the hyper-competitive NBA landscape. It's really a study in organizational mastery, isn't it? And that relentless pursuit of a shared goal.
Okay, so let's picture the early 2000s Spurs. This wasn't a team built overnight, right? You had these cornerstones, Tim Duncan, already a huge force, and David Robinson still bringing serious games. But it was definitely more than just a couple of superstars carrying the load, wasn't it? I mean, looking back at that 2001 roster, you see a really interesting mix. Experienced guys just on the cusp of breaking out.
Precisely. And while those marquee players are, of course, vital, the longevity of a dynasty really hinges on the ecosystem around them. Think about the coaching staff, the front office, the architects working behind the scenes. How do you consistently identify the right talent? And then how do you cultivate an environment where everyone can thrive? It's a complex puzzle.
Which brings us to a fascinating aspect. How these top-tier organizations actually make decisions. It's this constant balancing act, between what the numbers tell you, the analytics, and the more traditional art of scouting, that gut feeling for a player.
Yeah, and what's intriguing is that while the whole league recognized the value of analytics, even back then, the application, well, the weight given to that data, it varied quite a bit. It wasn't really a case of one completely overshadowing the other. Not at all. The most successful teams, like the Spurs, were clearly they understood that these approaches are actually like two sides of the same coin.
Right. It's not about an either scenario. That's key. The really smart organizations figured out how to make the data and the human element work together. So the analytics provide crucial context, maybe reveal hidden trends, and the scouts bring in those invaluable insights you just can't quantify: character, work ethic, that kind of stuff.
And that really speaks to a key characteristic of a dynasty in the making, doesn't it? A commitment to rigorous, multifaceted decision-making. Organizations that can effectively synthesize all the available information, stats, medicals, even a player's personality, those are the ones that minimize risks.
Yeah.
And they consistently make moves that align with their long-term vision.
Okay, now here's where it gets really compelling for me. It's not just about the big splashy decisions, the trades and signings. It's about the daily grind. There's this idea of winning the day. That championship level success isn't some, abstract future goal you just hope for. It's something that's built brick by brick. Consistent effort, relentless focus on getting better every single day.
That's such a crucial shift in perspective. Becoming a championship contender isn't simply about wanting to win. Everyone wants to win. It's about the unwavering commitment to the process of improvement. Every practice, every film session, every workout, it's understanding that those seemingly small daily victories, they compound over time. And they ultimately dictate your trajectory. Think about a player just relentlessly working on free throws hours after practice. That's winning the day right there.
And that discipline, that daily dedication, it feeds directly into team culture, into identity. It's about establishing those non-negotiable core values, that underlying DNA that shapes how everyone behaves, how they respond to the highs of winning, sure, but also the lows of defeat. Our sources really highlight how this deeply ingrained culture is the bedrock of sustained excellence.
Exactly. A strong team culture, it acts like the compass, guiding the team's actions and decisions. It defines not just how they play on the court, but how they interact off the court, too. It's that invisible thread binding everyone together, fostering an environment where success kind of becomes a self-sustaining cycle.
So as we look back at those early 2000s Spurs, you can almost visualize this taking shape. Even without the play-by-play of every single game, you can imagine that early season chemistry developing, those younger players starting to find their roles, the whole team beginning to coalesce around a shared purpose, a common way of doing things.
And you saw tangible evidence of that individual dedication translating to high-level performance.
Absolutely. I mean, think about Tim Duncan consistently ranking among the league's elite, scoring, rebounding, blocks, year after year after year. And David Robinson, too, still a dominant force in the paint even later in his career. That consistent excellence from your key players, driven by their own commitment, that's just a non-negotiable element for any dynasty.
Right. And it wasn't just about the talent they already had in-house. You also saw those strategic moves by the front office. That summer of 2000, for instance, they brought in guys like Danny Ferry, a seasoned vet who brought valuable experience, and even a young assistant coach named Mike Brown started then. All moves designed to complement the core, strengthen the whole structure. Yeah, those acquisitions weren't necessarily the huge headline grabbers, maybe. But they demonstrated a really astute approach to team building. Very Spurs-like, even then. It's about identifying specific needs and bringing in personnel players, coaches, scouts who fit the overall philosophy, who enhance the existing strengths. It's about building a cohesive unit where the sum is truly greater than its individual parts.
Of course, the path to becoming a dynasty, it's never perfectly smooth, is it? There are always obstacles, bumps in the road, moments of adversity that really test a team's mettle. And it's how a team responds to those challenges, that ability to bounce back and stay true to their principles, that's what truly reveals their championship DNA.
Absolutely. Resilience, that collective ability to overcome setbacks, learn from them, that's a hallmark of teams achieving sustained success. It's a direct reflection of the strength of their internal culture, that unwavering commitment to winning the day, even when things aren't going their way.
So, reflecting on the Spurs' journey in the 2000s, what does it really tell us about what defines greatness in sports? Because it's clearly not just about accumulating championships.
Well, what truly stands out is that sustained excellence built on a holistic approach. It's the fusion of exceptional talent, visionary leadership, both front office and coaching, a deeply ingrained culture of continuous improvement, and that unwavering ability to navigate and overcome whatever challenges arise. A dynasty isn't just a fleeting moment. It's a consistent embodiment of all these principles, season after season.
And you can't overlook the connection with the fans either. That's huge. The Spurs-era San Antonio source really underscores the deep, enduring support the team has enjoyed. Stretching way back to their ABA days, there's a real sense of community just intertwined with this team.
Well, absolutely. That long-standing relationship with the fan base is crucial. Think about that famous George Gervin quote, how San Antonio was known for the Alamo, but now they'd also be known for the Spurs. That speaks volumes, doesn't it? About the team's impact on the city's very identity. It's a shared history, a source of collective pride.
It really does. And it points to something bigger about sports fandom itself, you know? It's not just about cheering for a logo on a jersey. It becomes part of the community's fabric, a shared experience that kind of transcends demographics. The loyalty of fans like the baseline bums who've been there through thick and thin, that perfectly illustrates that deep, almost familial bond.
Their unwavering support, spanning generations, it truly highlights that idea of the Spurs family, that powerful, almost intangible connection between the team and its supporters. It underscores how a sports franchise can become so deeply woven into the social and cultural tapestry of a city. It's quite remarkable.
So when we distill it all down, what's the core message from the 2000s Spurs saga? It seems to be that building something truly extraordinary in sports requires way more than just star power or, a lucky break here and there. It demands a comprehensive vision, an unwavering commitment to excellence in every single facet of the organization, a culture that breeds success, and that profound connection with the community that rallies behind it.
Absolutely. I think that sums it up perfectly. The Spurs of that era weren't just a team that won a few championships. They forged a lasting legacy by meticulously cultivating those foundational elements. And that's a powerful lesson, really. One that resonates far beyond the basketball court, offering valuable insights into achieving sustained success in pretty much any endeavor.
Thanks for listening to Sportpen.